Hey there, Pony fan. Welcome to another Friendship is Magic review with me, the Stupid Private. Today's episode is Simple Ways. The episode begins with the selection of Rarity as Pony of Ceremonies for the Ponyville Days Festival.
Another doggone festival. Seriously.
Hey, they have to keep small town life exciting somehow. And not surprisingly, Rarity has selected small town chic as the theme. But all that changes when a travel writer named Trenderhoof, who Rarity has a crush on, comes to town and shows a shockingly high level of interest in farming.
Hint, hint.
But Rarity's not about to let this one get away for some reason, so it's time for a makeover. First, the Ponyville fashionista tries a Branson backup singer's getup, but when her new guy is still more interested in a certain farm girl, Rarity drops the subtlety and goes full-on hillbilly, changing the theme of the festival to Simple Ways, and speaking with a horrible fake southern accent.
For shame.
But AJ isn't going to let this cultural appropriation stand. And she figures turnabout's fair play, so she gets all dressed up in one of Rarity's old numbers. And in an explosion of cattiness, Rarity comes to her senses and realizes that you can't change yourself to make someone else happy. Far and away, the strongest aspect of Simple Ways is the central problem, namely, trying to transform yourself so someone else will like you. And Rarity's a pretty good pony to carry this story. Now let's talk about Trenderhoof. There's just not much to say about him, which is weird considering he's the driving force of the plot and the self-proclaimed most interesting pony in Equestria.
All the Dos Equis in the world wouldn't make this chump cool.
He just doesn't have the force of personality necessary to drive the story. And that means that Rarity has to do all the work herself. She can be very funny and engaging, but here it's pretty much wasted on a guy who's just kinda meh. I mean, if he would have been a colossal jerk on the level of Prince Blueblood, I think the episode would have worked. Or if he really is a legitly awesome guy, the episode needs to bring that across. But Trender has so little screen time, it makes it hard to sympathize with Rarity. Unless, of course, Rarity bending over backwards to impress a guy who's totally not worth it is the joke. But if that's the case, then the joke's not funny. That joke only works if the guy's an hole. And they already did that one.
So you didn't like the plot?
Yeah, pretty much. Now let's talk about the comedy. Fail of the central gag aside, this category has some real gems, but you sorta have to dig to find them. The comedy MVP this time around is Spike. He's Rarity's go-to dragon, and he's aware enough of the situation's ridiculousness that his knowing looks at the camera are hilarious. Rarity's trademark over-the-top reactions are obviously in full force, and they work like they always do. But since Rarity is basically reacting to her own overreactions, we kinda get an Ouroboros effect going. Then there's AJ, who's the main supporting character. She actually takes on Rarity's typical job as the reaction comic. AJ basically applies common sense to the ridiculousness of the situation for comic effect, and it works. We also get Pinky as the exposition dump fairy who dresses up her explanatory dialogue as a non sequitur.
Definitely skirting the line between clever and inventive storytelling and just plain lazy writing.
Art-wise, this is definitely an episode to keep your eyes open, for appearances by the best and brightest of the background. Finally, the resolution. Applejack's response to Rarity acting like a country gal is getting into her high society act. No doubt learned from Aunt and Uncle Orange. I guess it's a good enough way to conclude the episode, but I can't help but feel like that's the kind of thing that might ruin friendships. Now let's break down the good and the bad in My Little Pony Simple Ways. On the good side, the episode has a strong message about being yourself, a good laugh or two, and great cameos by all your favorite background ponies, like Vinyl Scratch and Derpy Hooves. On the downside, the plot is very, very weak. The big central joke has been done before and better, and it's all courtesy of the least interesting pony in Equestria. Sorry, Rarity, but I give Simple Ways 2 out of 5. Thanks for watching. I'm the Stupid Private.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.